Guys, I actually may have just done the deal of the century. Now, out there is a new project for the channel. Have no idea, and I mean no idea, what we're going to do with it. But I do know that it is the cheapest TD42 Patrol in Australia. So let's check this thing out.
Wake up, honey, I made you breakfast. Fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a barrel of fun. Growing up is just a trap. Don't it seem like a drag? Like putting all of your
Proudly supported by Superior Engineering and Diesel Conversions Australia.
Okay, look, she's a little bit rough around the edges, but guys, what a friggin' find. Inside of there is a legendary TD42. It's naturally aspirated, which means that there's no turbo on it. We have a bone stock GQ. I mean, it's got a few little mods here and there, basically bone stock, and that is super hard to find these days. Most of you guys know that we've already had some GQs on the channel. We had Cole, my ute, and my brother's Bogan bus, and this is going to be the third GQ on the channel. I know might seem a little bit repetitive, but this is way too good to pass up. And I love my patrols, I've always loved them. Cole and the Bogan bus were both plagued with rust, and it's a very big problem with GQs. They just seem to rust out in the roof. Once they start rusting the roof, there's really no stopping them except for cutting the roof off, which is what we did to my brother's Bogan bus. This thing here has no rust in the roof as far as I can tell. Now, whether that means someone has actually treated it, because I just don't know of any GQs that don't rust, but I went round this thing with a fine tooth comb and I could not find one speck of rust in that roof there. That's not to say that this thing doesn't have rust in it. There is a tiny bit in the door, but for a GQ, that is like absolutely nothing. I can patch that up pretty quickly. But yeah, that is why I'm so excited. Now, I got this thing for a stupid price, and I mean stupid price. He had it listed up online, and I jumped on it. I said, I'll come and pick it up straight away. When I got there, the old trick of just picking it apart in front of him, I just said that, look, I found some rust. It needs a tidy up, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he actually knew that it was a TD42 or that it's quite a popular motor. I didn't lead him on to believe that it was a popular motor. I just got there. We negotiated and we ended up paying $3,000 for this. Runs, drives, there's a plethora of new parts in the engine bay. You guys, $3,000 for a TD42 GQ with no rust in the roof is an absolute bargain. These motors alone go for like 6, 7, 8K. So yeah, we jumped on it. There was one big problem with it though. It was overheating. So I didn't really exactly know what that was, but I still paid the cash for it. Me and my brother were there. We did check over the motor as much as we could, but we were sort of there at about 6 o'clock. So it's just starting to get dark. I went through it. I just wanted to make sure that the motor was okay. It sounds really good, although I think there is too much advancement on the pump, which we'll address later. Now, the motor sounds really healthy. There is little to no blow-by. I checked that there was no milky oil. There was no oil in the radiator or anything like that. So I basically transferred him the money, bought the car, drove it out of his driveway, temps started going through the roof. So we pulled over, ripped the thermostat out of the housing, and it was completely C-shut. So I'm pretty confident that a new thermostat in this thing and it is just going to be fixed. Probably also need to do the radiator and a few other bits and pieces with the cooling, but I've already put a new cap on it because the cap was absolutely destroyed as well. So I am pretty confident that we've already basically fixed the motor. I do need to go get a thermostat, but at the moment it's not overheating. Now, you are probably wondering why I'm talking so much about the motor and the bonnet is still shut, and that is because there is no strut or bonnet stay under that thing, and that bonnet is friggin' heavy. So I actually ordered some struts off eBay. They came yesterday, so I'm going to be chucking that in. We're going to get it in the shed. We're going to do a bit of tidying up. We'll check the rest of the car out in a second, but I'm just going to get it in the shed. It's also raining a lot today, so get it in the shed. We'll chat some more about it. Obviously, there's some stuff that needs to go in the bin, but yeah, let's get her in the shed. Let's see how she goes. Full cold start. I actually had the battery on charge as well. That was another issue. The battery was completely dead. And go. How's that? How is that? $3,000 for this thing. See on the dash there, we've got 440,000 Ks. So this thing is just run in. Diesel absolutely loves it too. He just wants to go for a run. Ain't you, boy? Love the old TDs. Welcome back, TD. One thing that you can hear straight away is it's idling a bit funny, and it also has a little bit of a TD knock. Now, my experience with these things is not super great with like advancing and retarding the pump, but I'm really quite certain that someone has played with that pump, and I'll show you guys that in a sec. I reckon someone has just adjusted it too much on the advance, and you can see that the idle has been affected as well, which is quite common. It is something that we are going to have to fix, but probably not today. Let's just get it in the shed, tidy this thing up a little bit, and yeah, very, very excited about this thing, guys, if you can't tell. As much as I love my little four bangers, you just can't beat the sound of a 6-cylinder diesel. They just sound really good. Now, obviously this thing has like a bone stock exhaust on it, so we can't really hear it too much. It's all engine noise at the moment, but it still sounds bloody good, all right? So I got my trusty bit of wood, which we are going to be sorting out today, but as you can see, silver top TD42. Now, if you don't know much about the TD42s, silver top is basically the second strongest. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it goes silver top, then black top NA, and then black top turbo. We have a silver top. We've also got hurry ups.
Silver top, eh? Not bad choice, mate. Not bad choice.
So I'm happy about the silver top because Cole had a black top NA, and I was a bit scared with how much boost we were running through it. So that sort of leads us on to, will we be boosting it? The answer to that is obviously yes, I will be boosting it because these things are like a slug NA. So we're going to be looking at a turbo kit. Now I do have to recover financially first. So none of this is going to happen anytime soon, I don't think. But just want to start getting a game plan in my head for what we're actually going to do to this thing. But we're going to be doing a turbo setup for sure. We will be running an intercooler, a few other little bits and pieces, but not too much to the engine bay. I just think that TDs weren't really meant to go fast, and I just want it super healthy and reliable. So yeah, Harry and I actually went out and looked at this thing, and we checked it over pretty good. But yeah, like I said, it was getting dark, so we couldn't really check it out too much. But from what we can tell, the motor seems really healthy. And like I said, in there is the thermostat, and it was actually completely C-shut. So I'm pretty confident that the overheating issue is just the thermostat. And as you can see there, I've already replaced the radiator cap as well. It's definitely a bit tappety and a bit rattly. So I definitely want to do a valve lash as well. And just a full service, tune up, all that sort of stuff. Make sure it's running good before we slap a snail on it. That's the goal. So we've obviously got some choice mods here. We've got this bull bar. Now, I don't know the brand of this bull bar, but it is actually a winch bar. This will be coming off. I don't like the look of this bar. That's kind of the end of that one. Now, we've got the old school halogen spotlights here. You got to keep in mind this thing was probably modified in like 95 or something like that. It is an 89 Patrol, so it is quite an old one, but the old ones are the good ones. Now, like I said, winch bar, we're obviously missing some blinkers and that one's broken. Up here on the grill, we've got the old school Nissan grill here, but it's being held in by some tires, which I don't really understand, but that'll all get sorted out pretty quickly. You'll see a lot of blemishes on this paint. She's definitely no beauty queen, but I'm hoping that we can tidy this thing up. Factory blue color. Don't mind it actually, but don't love it. Now, if you come down to the wheels here, we've got some alloy wheels. Now, there is 4 of these. One's actually on the back and it's got a flat tire. But yeah, 4 of these old school rims. I actually quite like these, but they won't be staying either because we've got to get some bling on this thing. There is a spring and shock combo under there. I think it's sitting at about 1 or 2 inches high. I don't think it's factory height. But I could be wrong about that. But there's definitely springs and shocks in there. We've got factory side steps, I believe. They are pretty mangled, and the one on the other side is actually broken. We've got diesel inside, so that's a bit of an add-on there. And we've got this roof rack up here, which is 110% going. This has to come off ASAP to protect these gutters. Other than that, we've actually got 7 seats in there, so it does have the rear seats, which I'm actually pretty excited about. We might be able to mob with 7 people out at Glasshouse, which sounds pretty fun. It's actually one of the nicer Patrols I've ever driven. Everything's super tight, the gearbox feels good, clutch feels like literally brand new. There is actually what looks to be a couple of new parts in here. You see the brake booster and the clutch master both look to be brand new. If you look down there, it's kind of hard to see, but the 10mm pump there looks to have been rebuilt because there's all yellow marks on it, so someone's definitely had that off at some point. It'd be hard for you guys to see, but down there is a brand new viscous hub. You can see it right there actually. So someone was trying to look after this thing. I think the owner was just getting fed up with the overheating issues, which happens to be most likely the thermostat. There is actually one major thing that we're forgetting here. This thing has a sunroof, which is kind of cool. kind of weird at the same time, but I reckon it's aftermarket. See right there, we've got a sunroof. Now that comes across. I don't think GQ's come out with sunroofs. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, it kind of just looks like someone's put it in because it's not really installed right, but it's kind of like angled down like this. You see all this sealant in there. So I think I'm gonna have to cut this out again and bring that back up to being level with the roof and then reseal it at some point, because I don't think that's right. There is also a bit of a hole on that side just there. Let me know if that is factory. I really think it's not, just by looking at it, but if it is, that's cool. If it isn't, I mean, that's cool, I guess. But yeah, we've got a sunroof. Now, I've got these gas struts here. They are off eBay. Now, I was gonna try and find a bonnet stay, but then I figured I may as well just put struts in it. They're only 34 bucks. Now, I'm gonna have to quickly look up how to do it, but once we do that, we can then get rid of this. I'm gonna be pulling this bonnet lining and everything off. It's all just kind of crummy at the moment, but we'll start with that so we can get rid of that wood. Bonnet struts are done, but they're not strong enough to hold the bonnet up. If you can see here, now the GQ bonnets are very, very heavy. I did buy a GQ bonnet strut kit, but it was from eBay, so I think they've lied to me. What a waste of time. What I can actually do though is get these gas struts just gassed up a little bit stronger, and there is a place local that does that, so I'll take them off and do that. For now, we are back to the bonnet strut of a piece of wood. Pallet strut. Back to the pallet strut. These spotties and the bull bar need to come off.
Let's get into it.
So let's take them off. So now we're going to take off the grill. You can see someone's tied it up, and I don't get this, but they've tried to silicone the bloody grill on. I like finding this old sort of stuff in cars. This must be the old spotlight relay. You can see 30 amp fuse for each spotlight, made in Japan. This thing back in the day probably cost a lot of money. Pretty cool, really. It says new era, old era now. You know what's crazy is like, this is a 89 and my GU is a 08. And there's so many similar things, like the washer bottle is exactly the same. It's mounted to the same plate in the same spot. There's these two runs down, the battery's in the exact same spot on the exact same tray. Like they haven't changed a whole lot. The way that this AC line runs up and over, it's exactly the same on the GU, which I find pretty cool when you can go from an 89 to 08 and retain the same stuff. Like I can actually prove it too, because look, this washer bottle would literally bolt in right now. Those mount holes there are exactly the same as that washer bottle there. And this is of an 08. That's crazy. If you guys didn't know, these actually rust from the inside out, but having a roof rack on a GQ is a bit of a no-no. They actually increase the chance of the rust forming because you got like metal on metal. I know sometimes there is a little rubber piece, but just over time, the vibration and stuff rubs the paint out, starts rusting. So roof rack gone and won't be coming back. Look at this thing, man.
Looks better already.
Looks sick. What's next? Side steps. She's done. That's the build, boys. Oh, that area's got to go though. Right, as you can see, bucket is all stripped down now, so we're going to take her out and chuck the wheels on. While the wheels are off though, we're going to jack it up, take the wheels off. We're just going to degrease all the diff and all that and do sort of an underbody wash as much as possible as well. So we'll do the front, then the back, clean all underneath, wash all the outside, and then we're going to get stuck into the insides. Now, because these wheels are absolutely filthy, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and clean the whole car. I'm gonna spray these down, wash everything down, and scrub it real good. Then we can probably pull it in and start vacuuming the inside. Now, like I said, I've already got a set of wheels on the way, so keep your eyes peeled for them. For now, these look a lot better. Very happy with that. All right, that is the interior detail done. Now the seats are not bolted in because one of the threads is very well hurt and I'm gonna have to repair it. But I also want to take the carpet out, like I said before, and I'm gonna take the seats out and wash them with the pressure cleaner. But for the most part, the interior is looking pretty good. I gave it a really, really good scrubbing and I'm quite happy with that. Now we're obviously gonna have to get some new door cards because every single one of them is torn, so we will be on the hunt for them. I'm basically gonna be chasing a front seat, 4 door cards, possibly 2 doors, because the pins on that door are actually flogged out and it's causing the door to kind of fall. Diesel bloody loves this car, eh? He loves it more than me. So I'll have to go find a wrecked GQ somewhere and pull some bits out of it. There's a couple other things missing as well. So I hope you guys like it. Be sure to drop a comment on what you think and also just let me know what you would like to see with this build. I really do want to just tidy it up, make it super clean, but at the same time, I really would like a glasshouse rig. And I mean, the body isn't extremely clean on this. It's just a good buy. The motor is in really good condition and it's obviously NA with no rust. So that's why I wanted to restore it. It'd be super easy to restore, but at the same time, glassy rig. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye.